Um, Welcome to the Trauma-Informed Palliative Care Project. I'm just going to walk you through some of its major features, just for those who are unfamiliar with the Mighty Networks platforms. This is our landing page. When you first log on to the website, you'll be faced with this, and you can scroll down to read a little bit about us and see if you want to join, if you think it's for you. You'll also find a QR code at the bottom where you can download the app onto your phone in case you want to do that. And from this screen, you can either request to join, and if you're already a member, you can just sign in. This slide explains how you can join. So you can either click on the create an account, that sea green button in the middle of your page, or a smaller request to join tab at the top right. And you'll either see this create an account page where you can put your name and email address and password, or it'll also give you some alternatives where you can join with Google or Facebook and so on. All you need to do is fill in your details if you use the create an account page, and pick a password. It will ask you a couple of questions just about your interest in the project and what you would like from it, which helps us in planning our programming, and also just to make sure that people who join know what they're joining and are joining for the right reasons. So the first time you join and sign in, you'll see the welcome window. Or if you're a returning member, then you'll see I think it comes up first with the community information or discussion area. But you can easily then move around the platform, and I'll explain how to do that. So this explains a bit about what we call collections and spaces, or actually Mighty Networks has called it that. So you'll see a column, a vertical column on the left of your screen, which lists the collections and spaces. And you can kind of think about them as folders and files in the folders. That's how I think of them, which kind of explains what they are. So for instance, the welcome to our platform heading represents a collection, and within that we've got the folders of welcome and invitation and disclaimers, and those are the spaces. Certain spaces are pre-programmed into the platform, like latest updates, discovery, all events, and members. Those are always there. And if you click on the members tab, you get this picture with these circles with either people's faces if they've uploaded a picture or not. And if you hover with your cursor over a circle, provided they filled in their profile, you can find out a bit more about them and their interests, and see if you've got any interests in common. And I would really ask people, if they possibly will, to fill in their profile, because the platform has a really powerful feature for helping us network with each other, but that only works if we know who we all are, and we can find people who have interests in common with us and might want to discuss things or collaborate on things or help with, I don't know, finding research subjects and so on. And if you click on the tab on the horizontal bar, which says online now, you can actually see who's logged in. So you could then maybe send them a direct message and say, "Hi, Joe, I'm here, and how are you doing?" and whatever. And I'll explain about how you contact people a bit later on. So of those spaces that are always there, we've got latest updates, discovery and events. Um, just have a play with those. You can scroll sideways, downwards, click on boxes to explore, and absolutely no worries. You can't break anything. You can't disrupt how the thing works. So just feel free to play with it and see what it can do. So then we've created a number of collections as well. So the first one is Welcome to our platform. We've got one called Community, Resources, and so on. You can just scroll down and you'll see them all. They can be closed, like in the left-hand picture here. I've set them all to closed, but you can then, if you click on those little arrows, they will open up and show all the spaces within them. And again, just enjoy clicking, scrolling, exploring, opening things up, having a look round. You'll see that some features are listed with some spaces, and they're not always the same ones. Again, it's something we haven't really started to use properly on the platform, but there's a lot of potential there. So, for instance, with latest updates, there is a chat feature where you can chat with people about things that are being posted or about anything really. So, any chat that you post there, as opposed to direct messages, is public. The direct messages are completely confidential to you and the person you're messaging. But if you write anything on chat in the horizontal bar in a particular space, then that will be public, and then other people can respond, and we can kind of have a dialogue on topics. So these are just a couple of spaces that I thought I'd mention in particular, but slightly random, I suppose. But there is a one space that gives you all upcoming events, and some of those will be organized by us, and others are by other people. Be aware that sometimes when we advertise something that is organized by someone else, that you might have to register ahead of the event to be emailed the link. So don't leave it till a minute beforehand and think, oh, I can't get in, because there may be a process for entering. And also sometimes people have found it difficult to use the link. Um, I haven't quite understood why that is. It's not always the case. So that may be something to do with those people's settings. But in case it isn't, again, if there is an event that somebody else is organizing and you really want to join it, it might be worth reaching out, just going onto the people's website, or just to kind of make contact ahead of time in case there is any issue, so that you know that you can definitely get in. We've got a participation agreement, that it's just a general, the usual things of being polite and considerate and all the rest of it. I'm sure everybody would do that. But in particular, we wanted to just make people aware of copyright. We love it when people post articles and references that others might be interested in, but make sure that they are public or open access, because we'd hate to, suddenly get approaches that will contravened copyright. So only post things that well, yeah, only post whole articles that are open access. But of course, you can give the links to places where people can then do whatever they need to do to download the thing themselves, and they may have access through academic portals and so on. Um, we've got a space for recordings of past community of practice meetings and webinars. So if you've missed a presentation that you would like to hear, and some people are in time zones that make it pretty much impossible to kind of attend at the time that the talk is being given, then it's completely free access. You can access any of those and play them at any time. Um, and also just to mention that there are areas of special interest. Now, we've created a number of them. Some of them have a few posts in them, others not so many. We can create other areas of special interest. The idea is that, again, that people can get together to explore and discuss and move forward areas of special interest, maybe collaborate on projects or trying things out. So definitely have a look at those areas and see if there's anything of interest to you. And if you have an interest that isn't represented, let us know and we'll create it. And if you want to kind of encourage debate in that area, again, we're very open. This is a very co-created space. I tend to think of it as a marketplace. You walk onto the square and you see who's there, and you go in little huddles and talk about, things that interest you, and then maybe you go off somewhere else. And so it's very much we're building this community and this platform together. So if you've got any suggestions or anything you'd like to do on it, then we're very open to that and would very much welcome that. Uh, yeah, I think that's it for this. Oh yes, no, there was one more thing, which is that we have a separate space for special interests that are a little bit out there. So like holotropic breath work or psychedelic use at end of life. So they're slightly fringe and perhaps less established areas of interest, but of course very interesting nonetheless. Another collection to be aware of is colleague connections. Um, we try to keep the platform advert free overall, but of course sometimes people will want to advertise things that need to be paid for, and indeed we might want to. So we've created a separate area called colleague connections, which members have to opt into. So you can choose to join it. You don't have to request it. You can just indicate you want to join it, and then you'll see all the events that are advertised within it, and you can click on any of them to get more information and how to join and so on. And if you want to advertise something yourself, you can do that by clicking on the three dots to the right of colleague connections, and then on create a space, and then you can just put your advert on there, with a link to maybe a website or somewhere where people can pay and book whatever it is that's being advertised. If you get stuck, let us know and we'll help you do it. So this is an important slide because it allows you to adjust the platform to your own requirements. Some people want a lot of information, other people really don't. And I'm very mindful that people have inboxes that are just bulging at the seams. So definitely check out this this page, this process. So you start that by clicking the little downward arrow next to your profile picture. That gets you to account, and then you can choose personal settings, and from there go to account, go to edit your profile and notifications, and just have a look at all the different options that you can there adjust to your own needs. Again, please fill in your profile so that people can find you if you have an interest in common. And most importantly, look at the notification types. So there are different uh, areas where you can get notification, and you can use those slider things on the right of them to either turn them on or off. So whether you want to get comments, or there's a whole, you can have a look, and see what you want to be notified on and what you don't. So the next couple of slides are to explain about inviting members, the chat function, and notifications on the platform. If these next bits feel a bit too much information, that's absolutely fine. Just skip them. You can use the platform without ever even looking at this. And again, just a reassurance that you can't mess anything up. So you can feel at ease trying things out. So just to say about inviting other members, and to remind people that the platform is for professionals to collaborate, mutually support, learn together, share information, that sort of thing. And of course, some of us will have a palliative diagnosis ourselves. We may be looking after somebody who has a palliative diagnosis. We may have lost someone. So the boundary is not clear between professionals and perhaps patients. But the purpose of the platform, we've had people come wanting to join who were wanting something from the platform that we can't give them, which is, for instance, they wanted to contact specialists in whatever area to ask for a second opinion, or have some kind of medical consultation, and that isn't what the platform is for. So so just to be aware that if you do invite people, that they are aware of that distinction, and perhaps have a bit of a professional background as well. We don't want people to be distressed by perhaps reading articles, or we want to be slightly cautious. It would be lovely if we could incorporate a wider group of people, and maybe in the future we can create a separate platform for patients to mutually support. I mean, patients experts by experience, really, and we have got some on our platform, which is wonderful, because we need that kind of input. But again, those people are also professionals who have that kind of background and understanding. So so how to invite somebody onto the platform. So you can see that little person with a little plus sign next to it. If you click on that, you get to the invite picture, or button, and you can either copy a link, or if you click on see more invite options, then you can put in their email address and they will be sent an invitation from the platform. People will still be asked to complete the questions. So if you have if you're unsure about any of this, get in touch with us. I mean, we're feeling our way here, and we want to be as inclusive as possible, and we can totally see the importance of involving experts by experience, while also wanting to protect them, and make sure that people join the platform with the right idea of what it's for, and won't get upset by using it. So this slide explains a little bit about the chat function. So there are two ways that you can come across chat. One is at the top of, we already saw that, I think, in an earlier slide. At the top of a space, with some of them, there is a chat button. and that's where you can post and discuss content publicly. But there is also the private direct message type chat where you can just either search for someone, or if you've already communicated with someone, then that will show up in a column of names, which obviously I haven't included here on the slide because I didn't want to put people's names on. But below the search thing, there'll be a drop down, lots of any people that you've already direct messaged, so it's easy to continue a conversation with them. You can also include more than one person in a direct message type chat, a private chat. So you can have discussion groups that are just for the people that you've included in that group. And yeah, if you want to start a new chat with somebody that you haven't spoken with before, then you just type their name into the search bar, and it will come up with start a new chat with that person. And this is the bit about notifications. I think it slightly depends on what you've chosen to get notifications on. But if you click on that little bell, then you'll get a list of notifications, and it will have a little figure next to it, like 1 or 2, if there are notifications that you haven't seen yet. And there is an option to mark all of them. If there's a whole list of new ones and you don't want to be bothered with them, you can just mark them all as red, and then they will grey out. So but yeah, so if somebody on the system sends you a notification, it will show up there, and that can be messages from the host, from us, or it might be to say that you've been mentioned in a post by someone, or somebody's cheered something that you've said. So it could be any number of things. So that's it for the short run through. It's really great to have you with us on the community platform. It's really been amazing to see how it's grown, and what a wide range of people are represented on it, not just in the UK, but in all parts of the world, really. I hope that the walkthrough helps to get you started a bit. The platform can do a lot of things. We haven't begun to scratch the surface, I think, in terms of its potential, and we're constantly learning as we go along. If you get stuck, there is a help function, which initially, if you click on there, will get you. You see this send us a message. You click on there, and you'll get a bot. The bot can be quite helpful, but if you don't get any joy, at some point it will ask you if you want to have a communication with a real person, and then you can just type in your question and they'll get back to you. Usually it could be straight away. I think there's an indication of how long before there are people there live to be able to answer the question, and you'll get a notification when you have a reply from them. So that it could be the next day, so that might not be immediate. Usually it's within a few hours. If you get stuck, you can send us a message as well. We might not know the answer, but we'll try and help. And if we don't know, and we can also be in touch with Mighty Networks people if you haven't had any joy from them. So I would say have fun with the platform, and hope you meet lots of interesting people there, people that share your concerns, and where you can share learning, and hope to see you at our events, our presentations, community practice meetings, and webinars. Yeah, all the best.